Already, my father has taught in Chester, PA, in the middle school and elementary school for around 20 years. And one of the problems that my dad has told me about in Chester, Pennsylvania, in the school district, is that there are a lot more cases of mental disorders within the school district for children at very young ages, especially in the elementary.
Why do you think it would be so harmful to Allentown? Okay.
Okay, so first of all, this would burn 150 tons a day of trash and sewage sludge right in the heart of the city. It's just south of the Hamilton Street Bridge near the American on Wheels Museum. And that's like right in the heart of the city. I mean, you got tons of people surrounding that. A lot of daycare centers, a lot of public housing. It's mostly Hispanic community in that region of the city. And this is just a case of what we see in a pattern around the country where these types of incinerators, particularly ones burning exactly these things, trash and sewage sludge, although usually they do them separately, are usually put in communities of color and in low-income communities.
Wow.
So this is a serious problem for a city where we have the 11th worst asthma rates in the country. It's considered the 11th worst asthma capital, as according to a report that came out in the past year, and also the 14th worst for particulate matter pollution, which is like soot, which causes heart attacks, causes breathing problems, causes all sorts of things, cancers included. And we're 14th worst in the country, and one of the only about 5 that are getting worse over time. So we've got a lot of reasons not to be adding polluters to the city.
Karen. Yeah, thank you, Karen, for speaking with me. So, were you informed about the placement of an incinerator in Klein Island in Allentown?
No,
No. Do you think that you should have been informed about that?
I think that's important.
Yeah, and who do you think should have took the initiative to probably inform you about that?
Well, it should have been several people. The mayor first, newspapers, anybody that had known that it was going in, they should have made it public.
Okay. And do you know what is released by incinerators when they burn trash and sewage sludge?
Living in Bath for several years, they burned stuff in a cement factory, and I believe I was exposed to some toxic air and became ill. So yes, it's very important that people know that different things can be burned in the air.
I do not think it's a good idea for Allentown, and I also do not think it's a good idea for Center City, Allentown, or the East Side, or our children.
And can you tell us a little bit about your experience trying to get some signatures from the people to put the question in the ballot?
Yes, I think the people are just not involved. I think they are not educated, and I think they're not taking the time out to educate themselves. When I was walking around with the petition trying to get people to sign, they didn't really question too much of why they had to sign. They didn't really take time to read the ballot or read the information that was there. I tried to explain to them, I focused mostly on the health issues and the smell that was going to directly affect them. I reached out to people in the schools, I reached out to the youth centers, I reached out into the park area where it was actually going to be, and I explained to them that, it smells good now, in a couple months or years it's going to smell worse. And then they basically just signed. Okay,
and the last question is, from your experience, what has to happen to get engaged people in this issue?
I think it's going to happen. And I'm hoping after they have to live in a bad environment and they see the effect, more people will start to do more. I hope that it doesn't get to that level. I hope that people take action before something happens and that they just take heed to the information and they start doing their homework and the experiences that where it is happening at other places, that we don't want it here.
All right, thanks a lot.
Throwing our waste into our pollution. And there's many comments and concerns about it. And as young people and as this young generation, we are concerned because we are moving up, and some of us are going to stay in downtown, and some of us may move out. But I want to be able to breathe and live into a society where fresh is being produced.
And so do you think that the city council or any city officials really helped to publicize this at all, or make sure that the community was educated about this?
Absolutely not. I think it's really, if you read the articles, then you know the information. I don't think, it hasn't been broadcast on the news. It has not been broadcast in papers I have read. I currently found out by a teacher explaining it into my math class. So, it's been a concern with me. It's always been a problem with me. But as of you guys, I'm as well trying to make a difference, because I do not want to live in a society where I'm slowly dying faster. And that's not where I want to be. So, the council, the city council I believe that's giving false advertisement of making a difference, but they're actually making destruction. So, like I said, as a generation of myself, I'm definitely going to step up, and I'm going to step out and speak up, because this is not something that I want to live in.